What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, back with episode 62 of Room Tour Project, the series where we show off the best setups. As always, we have some great ones planned for you guys, and if you think your setup is better than the ones here, I want to see it, as well as any dark and spooky orange theme setups for a Halloween episode at the end of the month. Check the description down below for very simple submission instructions. I hope I get some really awesome ones sent my way. But as always, let's start off episode 62.
Alright guys, so starting off here with Metatrox, and this setup is everything I love, okay? This thing has a lot of great things going for it. We're going to take a look at it, but more importantly, just go over why it is so perfect. First off, his displays are two of the Acer S277HK. They are 4K monitors side by side, so a ton of pixels here. When you're talking peripherals, it's pretty simple here. He's got an Apple keyboard, a Sharkoon Shark Force mouse in white on a Satechi aluminum mousepad. Moving on to his audio game, this is where it really starts to get interesting. His headphones, which are on another Satechi headphone stand, I actually reviewed this and showed it off on my channel in the past. Those headphones are the white Alpine headphones. And as for his very unique speaker setup, he went with the Edifier Prisma Encore 2.1 setup here. Then we're going to take a quick look at that PC, which is looking really nice there off to the side. Inside the NZXT Noctis 450 case, he has an i5 5960X CPU and an Asus X99 Deluxe motherboard. 32 gigs of RAM, he has a Gigabyte WindForce 980 Ti graphics card inside, a ton of SSD space, and of course the NZXT Hue Plus there for some added interior lighting, but altogether a very nice looking PC, I will say that. But where this all ties together, and it's something that I always stress when I talk about improving people's setups, is I have never seen someone stick to a certain theme or an aesthetic like Metatrox here. The white and blue color theme here is consistent throughout with all white peripherals and all white desk, even down to the monitors, and the blue with some accents like the PC lighting, the LED light around the desk, and the wallpapers. He even designed and printed his own posters on the wall. But when I'm talking purely aesthetic, some people like clean, some people like modern, some people like a crazy, ugly setup, I don't know. I, for example, like my wooden aesthetic. But his aesthetic is angular. When you take a look at everything here, it is just mind-blowing. His headphones had that angular cup shape, even down to his speakers, which are angular and geometric looking. The Noctis 450 is probably one of the coolest angular looking shapes out there that has really an aggressive look to it. And it comes down to even something like the crazy subwoofer for his speakers, all the way to his Naughty, which is that notification device I've also showed off in the past. This is just so insanely cool. I can't stress how much I love this. This setup is absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10 IGN would, again, whatever that saying is. But honestly, man, I have to give you props for this. This is one of my all-time favorites. And if I were allowed to give out some sort of award without 10-year-olds crying that I'm copying somebody, I'd give you every setup award possible because this is just amazing. Next up, we got Garrett with this triple monitor setup here that is pretty unique as well. Those three monitors are the Asus VN247HP. I hate reading off all the names, but I'll do it for you guys anyway. And having three side by side obviously is going to be great and awesome for gaming. The LED light strip behind the desk is a very popular choice, obviously gives it some backlighting. It seems to have like a little tablet there, possibly like a fourth screen option. Never hurts to have extra pixels. In some games like Battlefield, you can even monitor the map and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. Now into his peripherals, he's liking some Logitech. He's got the Logitech G910 Orion Spark keyboard, his mouse, the Logitech G502, his headset is the Logitech G933 Artemis Spectrum, and it doesn't end there. He has the Logitech Z533 speaker setup. Hope you don't mind that G logo. Now, up on his shelf, perched like a little owl, is his PC. And inside the NZXT Phantom 410 in that nice gunmetal black option is an i7-4790K CPU on an MSI Z97 PC Mate ATX motherboard, 16 gigs of G.Skill Airs RAM, and an EVGA 970 graphics card. And you know what I really like about this setup, aside from those awesome triple monitors that are mounted to the wall, is how you have it all, put together. The desk is very clean and organized, and to save some space, you have the PC up on a shelf. You have your headphones mounted to the wall there, and instead of having just a boring clock on the wall, you have those little squares around it in the diamond shape. Really makes it look nice. It's a good job on that, man. Keep doing you, and shout out to Logitech, found their #1 fan. Next, we have another triple monitor setup here, this time with a 40-inch TV mounted on top. This is a pretty nice gaming setup overall. You can see things like on the shelves over there in the corner, some like gaming pop figures, got the controllers mounted on the wall. And all together with that white IKEA Lindemann desk and those Alex drawers, makes together a pretty nice look. Now into his gear, those monitors are the Acer GN247HL. They are all 24-inch, 144 Hz monitors, so definitely great for gaming. And then as for his peripherals, kind of some deja vu here. The Logitech G910 Orion Spark keyboard returns, as well as the ever so popular Logitech G502 Proteus Core mouse. As for some of the other things on his desk, you might have seen the Sennheiser HD598 headphones mounted. He has the FiO E17K DAC and headphone amp there, as well as his speaker setup going on, which is from Klipsch. And while it's not pictured, he also has an HTC Vive. Now into that PC, and again sticking with that white theme, he has a white case from Fractals, the Define R5 with a nice window panel, a very nice and simple case, but inside that he has the Intel i5-3570K CPU, got some Corsair H70 liquid cooling, 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance RAM, as well as another EVGA GTX 970. Definitely some major deja vu here. But altogether, for a gaming setup, I really like it. Obviously, the triple monitors are awesome, and he can just, pull up that racing chair there, play some racing games, got a little steering wheel, and he's, like I said, he has the Vive, so altogether a pretty great gaming setup. Next is an updated revision of a setup I showed off 2 months ago. You guys might remember that Game of Thrones theme setup. This is the newer edition of that. Much more toned down, simple and clean. Extremely clean. I love the LED lights behind that kind of backboard there. Really makes it pop, and that very clean mounted solution there for your monitor. Speaking of which, that is the AMH A409U. It is a 40-inch 4K LED monitor. Into the rest of his peripherals, he has the Razer Deathstalker Ultimate Elite keyboard with the Razer Naga Chroma gaming mouse, and of course that's going to be on a Razer extended mouse pad there to complete the Razer trio. And if he wants to switch it up and use a controller, he has the Xbox One wireless controller there right by his side. Now let's take a look at that awesome PC. It's like a very small and compact form factor that is very similar looking to what a console would be. You got it next to a Plant +1 for that, as I always say. And that graphics card choice there with the lights is a great choice because it makes the case pop even more. The case I speak of is the Silverstone Raven RVZ02 case. And inside that, he has an i7-6700K CPU, which is cooled by a CryoRig C CPU cooler, 16 gigs of RAM, and that Asus Strix 1080 graphics card there with those little LED lights on it. Just looks really cool. A great job on cable management here. Only cables I can really see are just from your peripherals. And I didn't mention the speakers. Those are the PreSonus Aris 4.5-inch studio monitors. But yeah, man, like I said the first time when I showed off your setup, I really like it. It's so clean and simple, elegant even, I would say. But altogether, if I just give one little bit of criticism, I miss the sconces. Rip sconces. Well, anyways, now we're going to talk about Clayton's setup here, and I could definitely appreciate it being toned down and simple, but you can see he's stuck to this kind of Batman theme he has going on. So I'm a big fan of that, and his love for keyboards, which I'll show off in a second. But first off, Clayton's using an LG 34 UM95P, a 34-inch ultra-wide monitor, definitely a nice choice. And with the Batman wallpaper on the screen there, and those nice posters above, it just adds a lot to the room. looking like some classic comic book covers there, and it helps kind of set it apart because they're nice and colorful, and the desk is pretty just black. But you got the colorful keys on the keyboard. Let's talk about that now. As for his peripherals, he has the Cooler Master Nova Touch TKL keyboard there with the Logitech G602 wireless mouse. And for his speaker setup, that is the Logitech Z313. And off to the side on his desk is a nice looking PC. The case there is the Corsair Air 240 Micro ATX case, and inside that he has the Intel i5 4690K CPU. Keeping that cool is a Corsair H80i GT liquid cooler on an Asus Griffin Z97 motherboard, 16 gigs of Crucial Ballistic Sport RAM, and an EVGA 980 Ti reference card. I like the addition of those nice neon green cable extensions there for your motherboard and your graphics card. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the neon green choice was like a nod to the Joker. Am I right? I don't know. But anyways, moving on to the other thing which I was talking about earlier with the keyboards, is next to his desk he has a little shelf unit filled with two things that he clearly enjoys, and I could appreciate this: Batman and keyboards. On top he has numerous, and I think there's 9 there to be exact, Batman pop figures, so that's an awesome collection there. Definitely like that. But you can see some keyboards there on the shelves with a ton of different, keycap sets to switch it up, some nice braided cables there. Not too sure what they all are, probably a happy hacking keyboard, I could assume like a poker's there going on, but I like that. It's always cool to have a certain peripheral collection. But yeah man, really digging this simple gaming setup here. I like the Batman theme and the keyboards, really cool stuff. And while this might not scream gamer at you, it really doesn't have to. It's how you execute it, and this one was done greatly.
Alright guys, that'll do it for episode 62 of Room Tour Project. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, check the description down below for some very simple submission instructions, as well as all the products you saw in this episode. I have it listed down there for you. If you like this episode, please give it a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And last, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.